I'm your host, Mona J, Center of Attention, here with Spotlight in the City. We're here live at the 2015 National Youth Gala and Awards Show. And I am right here by the red carpet, not on it, but by the red carpet with Sid Kennedy, who's in sports and entertainment, PR, and he's here tonight to accept the award on behalf of Floyd Mayweather. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
And so you represent people like Don King, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So how long have you been in the industry?
I've been in the industry on the entertainment side. I have almost all my life because I grew up in the entertainment industry and my dad was in radio. And I grew up, in the music business, and I did entertainment and working with concerts until I moved here to Atlanta, and then around...
You're originally from?
Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio.
Did the entertainment industry bring you here to Atlanta?
Well, actually, school brought me here, and actually, after I had decided to stay, after I saw where Atlanta was breaking new ground.
You seen it ahead of time.
Right, in the entertainment industry. My homeboys from Cincinnati started the music capital here, Antonio L.A. Reid.
We already know who that is.
Yeah, right. They're my homies from Cincinnati, along with Bootsy Collins and the Isley Brothers and, Midnight Star, Ohio notables. And they set up shop here in Atlanta, and the music and entertainment industry was taking off, and Atlanta was solidifying itself as being an entertainment capital. I decided to stay, and then around 1993, I was doing a show with Parliament Funkadelic, if you know those.
Funkadelic.
My good friends, nonetheless, on the other hand. And I walked into the hotel where they were staying, and lo and behold, sitting at the bar was Emmanuel Stewart, the legendary trainer, for Tommy Hitman Hearns, Oscar De La Hoya, Lennox Lewis, and millions others. And, sold myself to him as far as my involvement in boxing, because that was one of my sports growing up, And,
so you was actually a boxer?
I was actually an amateur boxer, and, Cincinnati and Ohio being one of the biggest boxing capitals in the country, just like music, So that was in my blood, too. So I started working with him, and then around 1996, at the time of the Olympics here in Atlanta, we have a convention called the International Boxing Federation, IBF for short. The IBF convention was here in Atlanta. Don King was there. So, him being from Cleveland, I'm Cincinnati, we have a lot of Ohio roots and a lot of things, people in common friends and so forth. And so I sold myself to him as far as, my background in boxing, my contacts, PR, and what I wanted to do.
You could tell you got the gift of gab.
And I had to, because, one thing that I learned, you have to be aggressive in a big city. This is not little bitty small town Cincinnati, little hole in the wall, everybody know everybody. Atlanta is a metropolis, a big city. You got these New Yorkers here and folks from Chicago, LA. So you have to be aggressive to get what you want, here in Atlanta. And so I had to, just throw caution to the wind, sell myself to him, and then just like that, it was like, come on board.
And that was since 1996. So you've been representing him since 1996.
Since 1996, and all the major, fights, world championship fights, Madison Square Garden, the MGM Grand. I am so honored to have been part of some of the biggest sporting events in history. Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, and the list goes on and on and on. So I am so honored to have an opportunity to be a part of those historical feats.
Well, we applaud you. I'm thankful and honored. One last question. What does this event mean to you? Bridge the gap, giving back to the youth, and also being able to accept this award on behalf of Floyd Mayweather.
Well, first of all, my involvement with the youth is always number one. And I was contacted about this event at the 11th hour. It was during the week of the fight and, the weigh-ins and everything. And I get these emails, from the organizers of the event. And when they had put down, the description, and it is, designed to educate and empower African-American youth, I jumped right on it. You know, even if I had to catch a red-eye flight this morning from Vegas to Atlanta, I had to be a
Do what you got to do for the youth.
Exactly, because with so many problems in our communities with the gun violence and, you know, my hometown of Cincinnati, we're having big city crime statistics, you know, and it's rivaling that of a Chicago or Philadelphia or Atlanta, the homicides and murders. So I always make my involvement with the youth my #1 priority.
I think that is very important for you to take time. Like you said, if I have to catch a red eye, flight down here or whatever I have to do to give these youth some guidance, to show them it don't matter where you come from, it don't matter what you've been through, that you actually can do something positive with your life.
Absolutely, and you know, it's all about the kids, you know, because they are our future, and the negative influences that they have, you know, the rap and hip hop music, and you know, not saying all of it, but you know, those type of things.
You need to know that it's another way besides rap and hip hop, or you could be anything. If a rapper, R&B, a doctor, a lawyer, you know, success comes in all kinds of forms, but you don't need to look at one thing as being successful or doing the violent things to be able to get what you may think is success.
Absolutely, and you know, this is the point I stress. Everybody can't be Jay-Z. Everybody can't be Floyd Mayweather. You know, it takes a lot of sacrifices to get, you know, to where they are. You know, we were growing up, everybody wanted to be Michael Jackson, you know, but me witnessing firsthand the sacrifices that Michael and his brothers made. You know, you're talking about a kid that's not even in his double digits, getting up early in the morning, going to school.
They don't see the sacrifice.
Right, going home, you know, you may or may not get a snack. You have to do your homework, then do rehearsals, then go perform, then turn back around and be at school the next day. Michael lived a hard life at such a young age. And, you know, people say they want to be Michael Jackson, but you know, do you want to pay the dues that he paid? The sacrifices that Floyd Mayweather makes getting up at 4 in the morning, you know, running, you know, 5 or 6 miles, and the gym work and the interviews and the training.
Everybody wants the ending result, but don't want the journey it takes to get to that ending result.
Exactly, you know, and I try to steer the kids in other, you know, career options. You know, we do need more scientists and more doctors and more lawyers and more architects and company CEOs. You know, I want to give them an idea of how you can be that. You know, I show them magazines like Black Enterprise, you know, where you see your black engineers, your black nuclear scientists, and, you know, people that you won't see, you know, just on regular mainstream television. You know, so there are other career avenues besides football and boxing and rap and hip hop.
I personally congratulate you not on just your success in the entertainment and sports PR, just in just giving back and making sure that people are aware, you know, little boys, little girls, no matter what, that the youth are, you know, aware of the things that they need to do to be successful, to improve, to show them that, you know, you're taking your talent and resources that you've been given and you taking your time to give back to the youth. And I think you ought to be applauded for that.
Well, I tried and worked very hard, and it's just like the civil rights movement. It's still a never-ending saga. We have to continue Dr. King's dreams and his works and his philosophies, and it starts here at home.
Amen. Well, I am your host, Mona J, Center of Attention, here live with Spotlight in the City with Sidney Kennedy. Is that correct? Okay, Sidney Kennedy.
Yeah. Sidney 48, same thing.
He's a true. He keeps me laughing as well. Mona J, Sidney Kennedy, and we're out. Spotlight in the City.